All right. Let's work on creating some decks here. We're going to start with a discard deck based on Aria. I'm going to take a list that I kind of was fooling around with. All right. Let's work on creating some decks here. We will get rid of a lot of these previous wounds. Don't need Terminus. All right, let's do discard base here. All right, just testing, making sure the chat works. Okay. Let's go with. I'm gonna want cheap discard. Possible removal. Don't mind throwing Hex in here. We got Hex in there. Okay. Probably need some removal. Instant speed. Shoots probably are the better. Shoot the sheriff. Grab a couple of those. Let's go back. Oh. What else do we want to all add in here? I'd like a different win con other than Bandit's talent, but question is, what do I want to throw in there for the win con? Don't want to put anything too expensive. Want to keep it cheap. I should probably throw in the exile spell for removing creatures. Trail. That's a flash. That's not bad. What else do we want to add here? Anything you guys suggest, you can absolutely type it in the chat. The whole idea for this deck, just to give you an idea, is I wanted to play Arya. This is a new card in the set. Legendary enchantment. Players can't draw cards or gain life. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches their library for a card, put it in their hand, and then shuffles. We're going to play Dark Confidant because that gets around it, because Dark Confidant doesn't draw a card. It reveals, and you're able to play cards that you reveal. I should say put in your hand. So it gets around the draw limitation here. But we don't want to go too expensive, obviously, if we're playing Dark Confidants. But we also want to find some cheap creatures to win with. I'm thinking that life linker might be good. That flyer. Hey, hello there. 8793. How's it going? Tulsa? This might not be that bad. I guess it's a draw effect, so it's not going to be that great. Revenant is probably one of the better ones. Has the flying and death touch if we need it. How's everything going tonight, Thulsa? All right. Can also mix it up with lands as well. We're going to probably want to try some of our man lands. Actually, we want to probably put a couple of these in there. I think we need to throw some sweepers in here as well. Let's do a couple sanctuaries. We can actually probably go down and land a little bit here. Do we throw in... something to get creatures back from graveyards? We don't want to do that because of the draw ability. We can do Virtue. I'm not sure if we're going to get up to that 7 mana in time, especially if they're drawing specifically the card they need. Obviously, this deck's going to be really rough against any enchantment removal that's going on. Get rid of some of those. Probably can go down a couple of those. Do want to keep these for the graveyard decks. This is pseudo creature removal as well as discard, which is nice. I can do the other 2-drop creature, the Deceit. That's a pretty good one because that goes for any cards. I actually think that might be... that's going to be expensive, though. I don't want that to get hit with Dark Confidant. Virtue, same thing with that. The Virtue... Yeah, the thing with Misfits, the thing with the Virtue is Dark Confidant can hit it. Don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about it. The whole basis that I'm trying to test out here is play Arya and have a Dark Confidant on board. Because Dark Confidant doesn't draw cards, but it allows you to get cards into your hand, which gets around the players can't draw cards. So we're kind of using that trick ability to get 2 cards a turn when your opponent can only draw 1. Anything with the 7 casting cost is going to be really hard with Dark Confidant. So we're trying to keep it 3 and under, so we don't take too much damage. That's why I grabbed a life linker. Yeah, Orzai is not bad. I'm just debating whether or not I'd want to pay 3 if I get hit with their Confidant. You got to remember that they can only draw 1 card a turn. So once this hits the board, they're not going to be drawing many cards. And with all the other removal that we have, there's a good chance they don't have any cards in their hand. So to throw that many slots to a Cruelty, which doesn't really do much other than just force them to discard and to do 2 damage, is kind of rough. That's why I'm going to try 2 in the deck and see how I like it. I like stuff like Antes, because Antes kind of has 2 abilities on it. You can also kill a creature that's smaller, as well as do a discard. The reality is we're going to have a lot of dead cards, depending on the matchup that we have. Maybe we just give this deck a run and just see what happens, just in play mode here. Let's do it. I don't like the deck as it is, but it's worth giving it a whirl. Maybe play a couple games with it. Orzai might be the pick there, Thalsa. I might end up throwing 4 of them in there. It really all depends how it plays out, I think. All right. We'll try this one. We even go first on it. Okay, so we're playing against the Badger Mole creature deck. Nowhere to Run is going to hit the Badger Mole. They're going to get an elf into the Badger Mole, so that's a pretty good turn. Conversely, we could hit the elf if we wanted to, and then we shoot the Sheriff on a future turn. That would slow him down. Curiosity is kind of not great for us either. I think we want to slow him down right now. Hey, thank you. I crit. Appreciate it. Yeah, the Demons deck. I really love playing that. I'm working on another one right now with the Demons deck. It has, with that new creature, the 2 casting cost flying lifelink that gives another creature flying and lifelink and drops all its abilities. Because it works really well with demons, in the sense that they stay a demon, especially that 5/5 demon with decay. That only costs 2. That's strong. Ooh, I wish that was a land. We're gonna know where to run this just to slow them down. And I'll do it on our turn in case they have a Hexproof ability. Yeah, but the Demon deck is probably one of my favorites. I like playing different versions of that. That Nugan, you can probably tell by all the videos I post of both of those. Okay, they got the ramp no matter what here. Yeah, this is the thing I forgot to add to my deck is board wipe. Okay, we're already in kind of trouble. They can cast anything they really want. And we're not getting our land either. That doesn't help. We can get rid of their Curiosity, which is probably the play. Let's do that. They still have the Rhythm in the hand. Oh, I was going to say an Exile, actually, but we can get rid of the one in their hand, too. Given that they already have the Rhythm, I think this is just a bad matchup anyways. Riddler. Ooh, yeah. I think this one's very much over. I think something to say if we add like a Day of the Black Sun. Wouldn't have really mattered in that we didn't have enough land. Although we're only running 22 lands, so maybe we do want to increase that. Let's look at this deck again. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it surprisingly plays well. I mean, I think it's one of those decks that, as long as you know what you're doing with it, it can get a fairly high win rate. And when I'm saying high win rates, I'm talking about the high 50% win rate against the majority of decks. Until you get to usually like high diamond or get to the mythic level, then it's kind of like, you know, all out, and it can still get over 50%, but it's pretty hard to maintain that consistently. What do we want to do here? And try one more land. We'll drop a duress. Give that a run. Yeah, curious all you guys in the chat there. What kind of decks do you want to see in the channel? Any interesting things that you haven't been seeing from other people that you want me to give a whirl? Also appreciate all you guys in here. This is actually my first live stream, so trying something new here. All right, we go first. We can do a duress into Dark Confidant, and then we have a bunch of removal. This might actually work out pretty good for us. Well, that's not good. I mean, we have the strategic betrayal at least. Confidant out. Problem with this deck is once we even get our combo going off, they can probably get everything done in one turn. Ooh, we got some good discard going on here. Let's shoot the sheriff. Got a greeter. They got the overlord. I'm actually going to get rid of the overlord, I think, because that's harder for us to get rid of. Even attack in here. Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate it, Icrit. That was pretty decent removal for them. This doesn't help us very much, but we can get them down a little bit. It does throw their big stuff. He's going to throw this in there, but we got the betrayal to follow it up with. Okay, that's good. We'll do a betrayal here. think we wait a turn on this. At least we negated that one. Yeah, thank you. I had to laugh. I saw a comment from somebody that called me the Bob Ross of MTG content makers. I tend to have the smoother, quieter streams, I guess. Okay, they got a pretty good yard there. So what we can do is we can actually turn this on and Betrayal. Unfortunately, they're going to keep the Bookworm. I kind of wanted the Tongue Greeter to be pitched. Let's do this. Gets rid of a lot of good cards for them. Fortunately, I don't play too many counterspell decks. Every once in a while, I'll throw one in there. It's pretty interesting. The audiences for videos, you tend to get a certain type of deck that everybody seems to like. And fortunately for me, mono black decks seem to do really well for viewership. But like, man, counterspell decks and stuff like that, just people do not like watching those at all. Any control non-black control decks, people just do not like watching. Let's see if we can duress here. Yeah, removing that Dark Confidant early was pretty good for them. Better Triumph. They have the Overlord they can make, unfortunately. Are they gonna hold? Or are they gonna make it? I will say the Orzai is actually looking pretty good right now. Nowhere to run. Probably could have waited on that, actually, till the end of their turn. So that was kind of dumb to do it there. Yeah, I tend not to play up the games too much. Once in a while, I get a little excited on some of those close games that are fun, but all in all, I just enjoy playing the game. That's what it's all about. That's what I make the videos for, is just have fun. I'm not a super competitive person when it comes to the game itself. I just enjoy playing, quirky decks sometimes, and ultimately, if I was just here to play competitively, I would probably be just playing decks that people don't want to see, unfortunately. Tongue Greeter. Alright, they got a pretty filled yard here. They have the Cavero as well, so I think we're in trouble. I'm actually surprised we lasted this long against them. Obviously, this is probably one of the worst decks to play against for a discard. They have the Arden here, so that's pretty much game over, I think. We're gonna just concede this one because they can drop the Arden and take it over. We're gonna try upping the ore size. We're gonna take Thulsa's ideas and drop or kick that up to 4, I think. That would have helped us out actually in a couple situations there. And what do we drop? Probably 1 duress. I don't think we really necessarily need those because that's just a bad matchup. I just don't think you're gonna win those no matter what. There's something to be said about just cutting these entirely. Yeah, counterspell decks can be annoying. I think they're more annoying in best of 1 than they are in best of 3 because in best of 3 you can kind of play around a little bit better and have some sideboard cards, and kind of tailor your deck to not face so much of those. All right, we'll try this again. I actually really like control decks that are not counterspell decks, if that makes sense. You know, board wipes. I do like lockout decks sometimes, which can be really annoying to play against. I realize that, but they're fun to play. We go first on this one. We'll keep. Got the tactics, anti-sentence, dark confidant, as well as our combo here. Little bit of a combo, Aria. So let's see if we can hit a land or a creature here. Okay. So this is an Izzet deck. We don't necessarily care about Torch the Towers. I don't like the Storm Chasers. They're going to get that down. Duelist of the Mind is probably the play. Although I can't kill either of these with Aunties. So let's do Duelist of the Mind. We're going to get that down, yeah. They're going to be able to kill our Dark Confidant right away, so I'm kind of hesitant to even throw that out there. Just go after their hand a little bit more. Want to get rid of that. They do have the Boomerang, so it's good to note that your Boomerang is dead. Okay, they casted it. I was going to say their draw ability of the Boomerang is dead if I get that out there. I mean, they can kill both of these, unfortunately, but there's really nothing else we can do. I kind of, like, discard spells for their Torch Tower. I guess I could have put the Morning Song, but I don't really want to do that right now. We also don't have Artifact Hate for the Monument. Oh, they didn't even use the Torch the Tower. Yeah, we're going to be in trouble. They already got too much draw going on. Yep, they got it. Too much removal in their hand. They drew too much already. I've been trying to play some discard this since Lauren set came out, and I can tell you, man, it's been kind of a rough go. It just seems like you can't buy a win sometimes with any discard decks since Lauren came out. Just the meta just is so rough on it. A lot of discard decks. A lot of decks that are starting to play enchantment removal too. In green, you're seeing a lot of enchantment removal. Same thing in white as well. You just didn't have that a set or two ago. Opponent goes first on this one. This is a pretty good hand here. He did. He had a pretty good hand on that one. I mean, we didn't have the best of cards either. But he had answers for our Dark Confidant, so it's not like they could sit around and draw us cards. They're definitely going to go green, which means creatures. We'll go with that first. All right. Get rid of that. I think they're going to probably do Esper Origin. Oh, they went Innkeeper. Well, we can do Brawler. Discard Brawl? Well, I can't do it. We can discard Esper, but they can cast that on 4. Do we just go after the talent? Or do we just drop this? Maybe we just drop this and they're going to drop the Esper? Yep. Figured they dropped that. They're going to do talent and then pump it. Oh, they had an ooze. Yeah, make it a 3/3. Don't have any removal yet. Can force them to double discard here. That was pretty good. Already starting to see some benefits to the cruelty. We do need to find removal here. Let's see here. Do we want to just do Morning Song? We can pump that, do Morning Song. We can find our solution. Let's do it, just to give Morning Song a try here. So they might just go for a land so they can cast Esper Origin. We can go for removal to remove their ooze. Because it has Hex, or has Ward, we have to pay an extra 2. So this is the first Arya I've actually cast. Ever. So this is going to be kind of interesting to play it. Alright, we need to find removal. I mean, we could do the creature, but I don't think that's the way to do it. We're at 5. I think we're dead no matter what. That's a bummer. Both have board. Yeah, they got us. Shoot. How'd they get that land in their hand? I guess I didn't watch to see where that came from. we'll try this one. We go first, which is a big help. Ooh, it's a Kithkin deck. They can race out creatures. This one creates multiples. This one's probably the one to get rid of because they can really pump these up. I think they can race us. We can get this down. They'll be able to ramp a little bit. Oh, they go that route instead. Yeah. I think this deck does need a sweeper or a way to kill multiple creatures at once. Because there's just no way for us to, especially if we drop this, there's no way for us to get rid of multiple creatures. Go for land, I'm curious. They're able to draw with that, unfortunately. Yeah, because we just don't have anything in our hand right now that can, do more than get rid of one creature. Yep. Not a fan of our game plan here. It's not good against aggro decks. It's not good against the graveyard decks. It seems rough against the Izzet decks. That makes it not too great of a deck. I think everything's just a little bit too aggro-y. Maybe we try for something else. I have a video coming up with Mythic Mike's Kithkins. It's a pretty good deck. Really enjoyed playing that one. I also have a mono black Ugin deck coming up too. This is the demon deck I've been kind of fooling around with Abigail. Works really well with the Rot Curse Rakasha. Does work okay with the Demon Wall as well. I even threw in 2 Rogue's Passages here to help get the Unstoppable Slasher through. Let's play some games with this one. What's the USA GI? What's the Slasher Double Strike you're talking about? Free Leyline? Curious what you're talking about. Be interested to hear. Opponent goes first on this one. Do have a Desecration Demon in here. Don't really care for that in this deck. We'll keep it. The reason why was trying the Desecration Demon, the same thing. Abigail can hit the demon and gets rid of its text and makes it a flying first strike lifelink creature. 6/6 for 4 cast costs, which is pretty good. Don't really want to pay for this one. That's probably the worst fairy to go after. What's the card you're talking about, USI? I know the slasher, but I don't know what you're talking about with the death touch. Oh, Leyline Axe. Let's try building a deck around that after this one. Let's get this for ramp. End our turn, see if they flash in. I kind of figured they would. And get rid of it right away. So we do have 4. We'll get this out. Litter Bloom is really good against Desecration Demon. They can just sacrifice their fairy they get each turn. We can cast Abigail and an Unholy Annex. Ooh, they're playing. I'm giving them a sack outlet. They didn't do it. Little surprised. Well, that means they lose the ability to do it. We gain 6 life. We lose 2. We drop the Annex. I'm going to try building that Leyline one after this. I think it sounds kind of interesting. Alright, they got a lot of sack here. They have to get removal for this demon, though. It's just too much life gain. We can get the other wall out, but is it just better to cast this? I think it is. I'm okay with taking 2 damage there. Well, that was a pretty strong draw. Can double block or block both the 6/6s. All right, good game. All right, let's create this deck. We'll start with the ley line. Axe. So you can drop it on the battlefield. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. That's really good with the slasher. Now you were mentioning about getting it for free. I guess you mean free by casting it. Yeah, the deck seems pretty good. I know I commented on somebody was asking about Desecration Demon, and I didn't really like it in the Demons deck. I only like it in that deck with the Abigail, because I think it makes it very strong to have a 6/6 demon forecasting cost that has lifelink, but you need Abigail, obviously. Otherwise, I just don't like that card. Slasher. Probably do Bloodletter. Do we throw in the Knight? Because that's pretty good. Just as a early blocker, and then a Leyline Axe can go on that as well. Getting it to flip would be nice. What else do we all want to throw in this deck? Do we want to go into the full combo? Do we want to go to... I mean, we're going to want to do the Annex. Do we want cheap flyers? I guess cheap flyers might not be that big of a deal with this. Do we do the... I mean, we can try the Abigail with some of the other demons here. Because we can give things some flying. Rock Curses. Yeah, Scavenger can be a pain. The good card, so I don't know what color you're playing right now, but Day of the Black Sun just takes care of that deck by itself. That and any of the the like momentum breaker, that and the day. If you play both of those in your deck, you're gonna take her. You can crush that deck no problem. That's a nice thing. They don't run that many creatures, so as long as you have things that don't target their creature but remove their creatures, it works out really well. Any sweepers really. Let's just craft that. This is the first set that I just seem to have a lot of wild cards available, which is nice. What else do you guys want to see in this deck? Do we go with Demon Walls? Early block? Leyline and Slasher is kind of an interesting combo. Probably want flyers of some sort in here. So we might just go for some Revenants. We can do the life gain combo as well. Yeah, that is pretty sweet. So I guess maybe we focus on Death Touch creatures. What else do we want to throw in there? Probably the creatures. Oop. Tumor is interesting. Maybe we just go heavy into the preachers. All right, maybe we'll try something like that. Maybe cut down. Cut down some demon walls. Guess we don't necessarily need Revenants. The life gain's nice though. Let's look at our land here. We'll probably add some of our sanctuaries. We don't have any removal, do we? Maybe a couple shoots, a couple hexes. Maybe go that route. Which card are you talking about, USA? Rev? Revenant? I guess it's probably better than Preacher. We can just get over it. Leyline can get thrown on that and it just sit there and gain a lot of life. That's 8 life that you'll gain if that gets through. Plus, if they have blockers, that's pretty good. I might just get rid of the Abigail Although anything I Abigail with the ley and then put the ley line on something, that's pretty good too. Do feel like we need more removal. Shoot the sheriff, demon wall. And get rid of the demon walls possibly. Maybe one more both of these. That or we can throw day. The only thing this would hit for us for cheap stuff would be Cecil, which isn't the worst. We try that. Let's give this one a whirl. I do like the idea of that ley line with all the death touch creatures. Makes it hard for them to block. Especially if the creatures have a secondary ability like lifelink, or you can flip the knights. How's the video for you guys? I do have a warning here that I have a lower bit rate, so just want to check what the video is like for everybody else. Yeah, Rush of Dread I think works really good because it has a combination with the Bloodletter, so I could definitely go that route with it. We have Leyline Axe. Let's keep this. Get that into play. We even have the Slasher. So we got the combo in hand. We just gotta survive long enough. I'm actually tempted to get the Revenant down first. Rush of Dread deck's fun. I really enjoy that one. Oh, jeez. They got goblins. Alright, we're going to have to drop the Revenant, I think, just for life gain. They're going to be able to create a new 2/2 each turn with that. If I kill that, I'll take 6 damage next turn. I think we gotta drop this, gain life. I don't think we're gonna even get to Leyline Axe, unfortunately. They're just a little too aggressive. I need more removal in this deck, I think. Day of the Black Sun would be fantastic. Draw. Yeah. They had removal. Oh, yeah, we're definitely dead here. Even with Day of the Black Sun, it only gets rid of those 4 creatures. Yep, 10 damage. They got me. We only had 3 turns on that one. What a fast format. We didn't drop any of our early creatures. I'm wondering if Demon Wall might be better. drop than Recursia. That way we have a blocker early. Maybe we get rid of the Abigail. That should be a little bit better. I think the Abigail's being a little too cute in a deck like this. Stab's good. I can definitely try the stab. Did I have Hex in this deck? I probably should have Hex in this deck. Hex or stab. Yeah, it was pretty broken, and they had a pretty good draw on that deck. Well, we don't have the ley line. We can try this one. Curious, do you just mulligan until you find a ley line in your opening hand? Or are you okay with picking? Because this is a pretty good hand, actually. Spell Snare. I guess we just go for the slasher. They're probably going to counter it. Don't. They're going to bounce it? Drown it. Now they can get rid of it by tossing the drowner. Yeah, the 4-mana axe seems like it's not a fun one to try to do. I think we actually try for another slasher. Alright, they gave up on that. Maybe I should be mulliganing just for fun here, because we are in the play queue. We're not in rank. We're gonna be aggressive on our mulls here to see if we can try to get it in our opening hand. I might do what you did and go back to the Dread deck and build it off of that. This is pretty good. We don't have the slasher, but we got the Dark Knight. Got removal for next turn. Just need to draw a card. And then we can attach it. That's going to flip this thing pretty quickly. Well, there you go. We did both of the things we wanted to do that turn. Let him attack in now. That's good for us because we can actually flip this next turn now. And it's a 5/5. That actually worked out pretty slick. Like this was a prime example of it working. We even have a slasher too. I mean, this has double strike and trample. We can give it. I mean, the slasher's pretty fun to get down. Let's just attack in first and see what they do. Because I would like to throw this on the slasher next turn just to have fun with it. Yeah, it is kind of funny when I crit. Oh, they weren't going to let us have fun here. Let's give this one another whirl before we try building it out of the other version of the deck. Yeah, it is fun when it works. It does feel like it's probably a turn too slow to do it. The format's just way too fast right now. And it's just going to get faster, which is unfortunate. Maybe we'll start seeing some bans that'll slow it down a bit, but between the graveyard deck and the Badgermole Cub decks, the format's just way too fast. I mean, even that Goblin deck, you just saw how fast that thing went. And that doesn't really have any broken cards in it. 2 ley lines. Yeah, we'll keep it. Need to draw a land. Okay, here's against the Badgermole deck, so we'll see how this thing fares. Is something said about not casting the Knight because we're going to do Bay of the Black Sun. Because next turn they're just going to go off. Yep, they're going to find their Boroid. Just found an elf. Because we're two turns away from a sweeper, and they got a full stack of stuff here. Guess, yeah. It's unfortunate. Guess this Dark Knight's just kind of holding them back a little bit. Familiar. Oh. They got their behemoth now. Well, they're not going to be able to cast... Oh, okay, their behemoth came into play. Never mind. Good game. Yeah, that's kind of how that works, right? Let's see if I have that deck available to me. I might have modified it. I don't think I have it. Let me see if I can find it. All right, we were looking at the new demon combo. Yeah. For arena, there we go. I take it this was the deck that you had it in? Yeah, I just went to I actually went to my Moxfield account to pull up my deck list. That's the easiest way to find it because you can't. I always end up running out of slots, so I delete a lot of these decks, and I always have to pull back from the old ones if I want to just modify them. What did you change on your list? I'm curious what you swapped out to put the ley lines in here. I suppose you could have done the acolytes. Oh, the core might actually be beneficial, in the sense that if you don't have it in your opening hand, it makes it easier to cast. Yeah, I crit. That's basically it, right? That's how the Badger Mold decks work, man. If you don't have the sweeper, they're gonna go off. They're gonna go burr. All right. He looked at some artifacts. I mean, we don't really have much ramp in here. The cores are really nice. I mean, you saw in a couple of my decks, I've been playing core a lot with Unholy Annex. It's just a fantastic combo. Core works really good with Hive Pool. You see me play around a lot with that. It just it's nice being a shapeshifter and unable to kill, because it's not a creature. Not a lot of decks are playing artifact removal, which is nice. So core is kind of a freebie to stay on the board. You're starting to see more decks play enchantment removal as well. So this is just nice having that. But this combination with Unholy and this combination with High Pool is just kind of bonkers, and it's a combo that I love playing lately. You've probably seen a lot of my decks have that in there. I think we can get away with dropping one. No problem, man. Agreed. That's just the way the format is right now. I mean, you know, just try to have your own fun in it, and if you want, build decks to go against those decks. And I get it, you're not going to win everything, but sometimes it's fun just sweeping their board up. Um, let's go with one less core, maybe, and we'll try that. Don't want to do like minimal changes to the deck just to see how it goes. Um, the only problem is it doesn't interact with Demon Wall. Do we throw the knight in? Maybe we do the. I mean, it's gonna get rid of demons, even more demons. Do we do that instead? That would mean the only demons that are in the deck are the cores and the bloodletters. Yeah, I really do love sweeping those. That Day of the Black Sun has been such a good card against those. If you love playing black, I really think there's a big void there that a lot of decks, especially when you're looking at white decks, don't play Pinnacle and should be. Um, I guess there's a reason said to just do the board wipes, especially with if they get Borade down, then you can do a board wipe after that. So maybe that's why you don't want to play Pinnacle. But if you can hit that Pinnacle, before they get to their third turn, that's pretty strong. Um, with this being less demons, I would like to get that up to 4. Especially with Russia Dread in there, because it's nice being able to use multiple modes if you can't kill them that turn. Do we get rid of removal? I think we can get rid of some of the hexes if we have the Dark Knight, because the Death Touch can take care of small creatures and prevent them from attacking in, which makes Day a little stronger. Even though Day kind of is a non-combo with Cecil. Let's try that. It is a bummer that it does feel like Leyline is a dead card in your hand if you don't get it in your opening. Oh, speak of the devil, we got 2 of them. We'll just get them out there. Not a great hand, though. Get our Annex down on 3, start the card draw. Landfall? Forest? Mountain. Interesting. Just get this in play right away. Before we forget about it. Yeah, Slasher's in this list. Yep, we just drew it, actually. Let's get it out. Ah, they go after Slasher right away. What's better than 1 Slasher is 2 Slashers. Even the double strike ability is really nutty if you can get a hit with Slasher. Because you hit him twice. Alright, that's fine. We can get the core down next turn, maybe? Actually, we'll see her. Yeah, it's only 2 mana though. Unfortunately, that Slasher is in exile under the card there. Okay, Jeskai. Creatures come in tapped. Let's get this out. We got our demon in play. Not a bad one. Good draw. Yeah, man. BBB. Went live. This is the first live stream I've ever done. Glad you could be part of it. I'm going to have to try to start making this a regular thing, maybe every weekend. At least do one. Oh, you're playing music, or you can't hear me, or what do you mean by that? All right, let's try this out here. We can actually, ooh, we can double axe this thing if we wanted to. Or let's do this. Oh, he has no blockers. We'll attack in. We get 2 strike. That's nasty. And he's dead. What a fun game. That was probably about the best way that deck can work. And the kicker was he killed 2 Slashers in that game. He iceberged one, and then he Wrath of God the other one. Opponent goes first. We'll keep it. We got the Cecil. We got a little bit of removal. We got the core Annex. Got the Slasher. We don't have our combo piece, but I think this is probably a very keepable hand. I mean, this is a different combo that we have in our hand. Badgermole Cub. Virtue is going to go after that. I think we can get the Slasher down next turn. We might get in trouble here with that Slasher. Or with the Badgermole. like to see another removal. Oh, it's got another Badger Mole. Well, I think it's beneficial for us to first attack in. The Slasher out. Yeah, they can do the Badger Mole, and then they have, what, 6 mana available? Wouldn't call myself the master, but we can kind of dig into it. Leyline, I think, is just kind of a tough card. Like I said, you kind of need an extra turn that the format just doesn't afford you to use it. It would be very handy in a turn like this, though, if we would have had it in our opening hand to put it on Slasher here. I mean, the unfortunate thing is he can just block with a land. I think it just still makes it worth doing it this way. You could do a Cub and a land to kill the Slasher. You know, the more I think about it, there might be a way to make Leyline become a little bit better. Yeah, that's pretty good there, I guess. Why would he have blocked like that? Interesting. Because we could do something with some, like a black-blue deck, maybe? And there's the artifact to make other artifacts cheaper. Alright, we'll take that, I guess. Yeah, it gets rid of that. So we can actually cast this. And he has to block with his Badger Mole, which is awesome. Get the Earthbend here. That's a pretty big Earthbend creature, too. Oh, he can just kill me here. GG's. Oh, there is that creature in red that allows you to equip stuff for free, isn't it? What's that creature's name? I'll have to search for it. Let's go and look at this. I think we're going to have to switch this out from a demon deck to something else. I mean, we can probably still keep the Bloodletter in there. Maybe it will be a demon deck still, but let's take a look at red. Let's duplicate this deck first. All right, which... Is that the one you were thinking of? equipment you control to target attacking creature. Let's see here. Trying to think of anything else that gives trample with equipped. It's pretty pricey. On the center, colors, equipment, artifact, token, name, sword. Yeah, not great. First strike. And this has flash too. First strike would be kind of nasty with death touch. We can give that a whirl. Treasured token. Just 2. Not great. There's another first strike. And it's also a Suedo card draw as well. This is a free attachment, which is nice. This is just first strike until the end of turn, though. Giving haste would be pretty cool, too. Is there a haster? I guess we got red haste cards that we can get. It's 3-0. Gets menace. Double strike. Doesn't get trample, though. This is going to cost 3. This does equip when it comes into play, which I think is probably more beneficial. Get rid of the combo there. We get the slasher. I think we're just going to get rid of the bloodline. I get the combo aspect to it, but I just want to kind of try to trigger it without worrying about having all these extra cards in the deck. Which also means we're going to get rid of that, even though we kind of need card draw, which I think we can go with the red creature then for card draw. So we can cycle through our deck if you're missing out. Kind of make this deck a little cheaper to cast. And I don't think we need Day anymore because we got the, 3 damage spell? I guess we even have a Braids, which is kind of nice. But what's the sweeper for 3? Not Slag Storm, but what's the other one? Not Fire Magic, not Thunder Magic. Am I just completely missing it? Or is it 2 damage to each? Pyroclasm. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Probably get rid of the cores. Get the ley line. We got the virtue. Virtues is probably not as good in this. Probably throw in a couple shoots. And we can get rid of trails, maybe. Just give that one a whirl. Oh, we want to switch our land out. Let's go with some of the red-black land. Get our blood crypts. Get our verges. We might even want to do multis, which are actually work well with the Cecils. And we're a little bit lower to the ground now. There's something to be said, being this low to the ground, that we could do our draw spell. Is there any good black-red? Let me look for that. Any good black-red combo cards? Should really filter this better here, but all right, black red. This wouldn't be that bad actually in the deck. You can get slashers back, you can get a lot of stuff back. Can we just get rid of the coral? Get Alicia. Let's try that. Give that one a whirl. Yeah, gold circle. You're right. That's how I get through it faster. Let's give this a whirl. Thanks USA for that tip. Yeah. Let's go. I guess it's not really a demon deck anymore. We got to rename this thing. We don't have in our opening hand, but we do have Slasher and a Alicia. We can go for that. It's an interesting thing. Are we playing a zombie deck? Could be. Enter tap for that. Unfortunately, we have no 2-2 play. We'll attack in, let them attack us, get lower health. Could drop that if I wanted to block her, but we'd sacrifice that. I'm okay with this. If we draw, okay, they're going to kill it. I was going to say, if we would have drew our twin blades, we could have flipped that next turn. So that's kind of a neat thing there. Got the passage. Let's get our slasher out. Alicia would have been pretty good, actually, to get out, because we could have attacked in and got our Cecil back. That is 2 casting cost, so that can... Alright. I think we just get rid of this. We'll attack in, let them double block if they want to. They don't. We'll get our second slasher out. Yeah, Grievous Wounds is nice. It's basically a bloodletter that doesn't die to removal. The only problem is it's 5 casting costs, which is a rough go. I was trying to play a bloodletter Grievous Wounds deck, which just I always seem to have it stuck in my hand when I wanted to cast it. Do like that card though. I just like the fact that it doesn't die to removal. Flasher's fun. Fun card as well. Tremors, yeah. Opponent goes first. We got Fear of Missing Out. We do have a ley line, so let's try this. Hopefully we draw into some win cons. We can drop an early Blood Crypt tapped. At least we can cycle through some of our land here. Alright, we're playing... I wanted to say Slivers, but we'll see. We got the Slasher here. Let's do this. We're going to toss this now. I don't think we want to lose life. That's a little worrisome. I might go after the tree mascot with the Abrade. Although I might just keep the Abrade if they happen to have the... I guess we just go this route and see what happens. I should have cast a Slasher, I guess. They didn't block, which tells me they're probably going to drop a Hive Pool here. Do that or something else crazy. Alright, they're pretty low already. We can get the Slasher out. Question is, what is this doing for him? Yeah, this is actually one of the cooler songs, I think, that they've added to the game. They've got a ton of land. I don't know what the deck's doing, though. Now I kind of wish we would have kept that land. We could have abraded if needed, and then we have a 3 mana drop Alicia, or switch this over. I'm going to switch this over. All right, good game. That would have been pretty good having that go in with the slasher. Our Pyroclasm would have been pretty strong as well. That's a good thing to note. Pyroclasm doesn't kill anything in our deck, which is awesome. I guess it kills Alicia, actually. Unless you attack once with it. And it kills this one, too, the bull. When it goes first, we'll keep it. Moonshadow. Alright, we want to get rid of that pretty fast. We probably could have mulliganed to try to find our leyline. Manifest Dread. Ooh. I'll get one of these. Yep. That is a pretty good, neat little combo with the rat. I guess you got to find a way to get the rat, but you could have that sack card where you get rid of the rat and you draw 2 cards. I think we go after that just to get that off the board, and we can attack in, flip this. You talking about this game? Crit? Does he have removal? No? Okay. Got the lay. Alright, unfortunately we don't have great things. We can drop this. Get the ley line out next turn. And have it attack in with the ley line attached to it. I'm not going to attack in with this. He'll just double block and kill it. All right, let's see how this works out. You can have removal for our creature. Let's attack in there. We'll do this. It's only 6 damage, so it's not that big a deal. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, I think we might just attack in with this. Oh, I did that wrong. I could just attack both. Attached it. Yeah. I could have probably attacked the same way last game or last turn with that as well. I didn't think about that because it can attach to any attacker. So I could have went in that way. He would have killed the one creature though. But I would have had a 5/5 then attacking in that had double strike. How's it going, Bernardi? Yeah, you just caught the first live stream that I've done. We're testing this out a little bit. All right, we go first on this one. Let's keep it because we got the ley line. Don't think I'd keep it otherwise, but... We have a little bit of removal, which is nice. All right, we're playing against control. Oh, should have dropped the multiverse. Okay, we're playing against the artifact, unfortunately. Let's get... Might as well just get this down, because it avoids Pinnacle. Yeah, we're going to try doing this a little bit more. Maybe once a week or something like that. I don't have a crazy amount of time available, unfortunately, between making daily videos and obviously my full-time job that takes up a lot of my time. Plus, I have a family and everything, so. Let's see here. We could do double fear of missing out. Or we can attach it. Do black. A2 life. We're gonna do the double. I just want to try to find more cards. These are kind of useless. Kind of looking for our end game cards. Okay, that's gonna be really good to put on Alicia. Yep. Yeah, the Star Cage. So we can do quite a bit of damage to him this turn. If they block, though. Double strike is nice. This gives a trample, right? Ooh, we do have a slasher. I think we just go this route because of the trample, and it gets the plus ability. It's going to do another 5. So they're going to have to deal with this next turn. Yep, they got it. Kind of stunts them unless they have land to drop. Nice thing with Slasher is no matter the size of their creatures, we can still get in with that. Ooh, repurposing Bay. That's not good. I guess we still get Slasher in. Maybe we... They're going to repurpose saw blades and then get their removal. So I think maybe that's the way to go, because that's gonna be going away next turn anyways. Yep, kind of what I expected. Another repurposing bay. They pretty much have this in the bag, I think, at this point. Got him down to 6. That's pretty good with this deck. They have their red artifact to crush us with. Yeah, they got us. Good to go. This is a fun deck to play, though. I want to get that ley line out. Let's go that way. Submit that. Black. I was kind of hoping... Oh, that's not bad with Pyroclasm. Let them cook a touch here. Okay, maybe we won't let them cook. Hopefully they can't discard another card. Do a Pyroclasm. Let's get in. Do we need to draw a land to drop Axe on the Dark Knight? Either that or we might just drop. Alright. Okay. They probably will come in for 6. I'm guessing they got another skeleton that'll be coming down. Gotta get rid of that because they want to get rid of the life gain. Okay, 5 damage. Yep. Alright, we did get our land. Get our first strike creature out. They're tapped out, that's why I didn't do it in my main phase. We will do that. We're down to 5. Get our creature back. Look at that. Loaded up the board pretty good. But this doesn't really matter. We have first strike here. We can Kill that there and take 4 damage. And we can win. Hey, how's it going, Yellow Dart? We're just playing a Leyline deck that USA... Well, USA was asking about Leyline in a Demon deck, and then we wanted to kind of spice it up so we can try to get it to work better, and we added red to it. And it seems to be working a lot better. Has some really interesting combinations with the Death Touch creatures, especially Slasher. That's the main combo we've been kind of playing around with. Given your Slasher +1/+1 double strike and trample is pretty insane. Given that it already has Death Touch and had the ability, if you do any damage, it takes the half of your opponent's life. This is a pretty good hand, so we will keep it, even though we don't have the Leyline. Should have dropped the passage there. We'll do red. If we would have done the passage turn 1, we could have Long Goodbye open. Alright, we're fine here. The Slasher down. Looks like we're playing against a counterspell deck. Oh, is this just the straight up artifact deck here? Get another Slasher out. Hopefully they don't have removal for it. They do. Just can't win, can we? Yeah, this is the deck that beat us before. They get the land, but what do we want to do? Both in exile. So we'll just do that. We can always abrade a spell snare. Let's do that. Let's abrade a spell snare if they don't kill this. And then Leyline acts on the Slasher. We'll do this all at the end of their turn. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, we're dead next turn. Hey, man, have a good one, Crit. Appreciate you stopping by. We're going to lose this game, but we're going to do our combo here at the end. This is kind of humorous. I'm down to 3. GG. Yeah, you could put... we could make it faster. Let's go with, let's make a copy of this deck. Call it fast. Fast red black. Yeah, I was surprised we got them that low, actually. Kind of a neat way to show off that you can get them out at the end of the turn and still pump them out. What's that lizard creature that you put in every deck? Fire Claw. Mice. Mouse. Does get prowess. Haste. They have some haste spells. Maybe better than a Twin Blade. Crash Through is interesting. Gives everything trample. There we go. That's what we want to get. Not Felonious Rage. Impolite Entrance is perfect. Kind of nixes our Pyroclasm, doesn't it? We want more targeted removal now. Slowly turning into a red deck. I do like the Knight, though, in there. Wild Ride. That's pretty strong. Especially if you can give something first strike. Might just cut out some of these. Trample and Haste is nice. I like the Trample. Also draws a card, too. Let's get rid of... We have to get rid of quite a bit of stuff if we're going to play this way. Maybe we get rid of the Higher Claws. They're so much better in a group. Yeah, Entrance is better than Wild Ride. But there's something to be said about it being +3. I guess we're really only throwing it on the Slasher for the most part. I mean, there's something to be said about the Cecil. You can do the Wild Ride on a Cecil and get in and flip it really quickly. Which the Entrance doesn't really do, but the Entrance works a lot better with Slasher. Both of them work with this guy pretty good. Guess we can skip the fear of missing out. Maybe 2 of those. Maybe avoid and abrade. What are we looking at here? 22 creatures? We still have quite a few creatures. I do like these because you target them. Maybe we just get down in a little 2 of her. And we don't worry about as much removal. Get rid of some wild rides. Let's give that one a whirl. Put that into play. We need to get red here. Yeah. Ooh. Well, we could do that on turn 3, actually. Turn 4, we're in trouble. Alright, we'll get this out. We have to give that haste. Put it on that one. I'm pretty low already. This is the turn we're dreading. All right. That worked out pretty slick. I like how fast this deck works. That ley line, as long as we can get this haste, well, we're going to keep this hand, but opponent goes first, unfortunately. We can drop our knight into full. Do we have removal? Spit. Alright, we'll get our knight down. We're playing against either a landfall or the Badger Mole deck. Which one are we playing against? Okay. We're playing against a graveyard Badger Mole, looks like. I guess we Try slowing them down. It gives us a turn to get the axe on Cecil. All right, they remove. Let's get her out. And efficiency, plus we can get our Dark Knight out. They have more removal? Demon Wall. Alright, well I guess we're just detaching then, aren't we? Let's go with red. Alright, good game. Yeah, we would have attached it and tacked in. Would have been good. This deck's actually pretty fun. I like how fast this one's going off now. I think we sped up Leyline a little bit here. By giving that creature the ability to get haste is handy. All right, we've got the combo here. I might just wait till turn 4 to drop both of these to cast Slasher as a surprise. We'll do black and have it tapped. Good. Oh, that's not good. Slasher's going away. Either that or the Challenger. I guess it all depends. Yep. Unfortunately, it's exiled, so we can't get it back with Alicia. Yes, Slasher of their own. Let's do this. Tempted to just let this one go through. We'll go down to 9. You know what? We're going to block it. Oh, they have another Slasher. Yeah. They've got us here. We can put this one in tapped. Block 1. Three Slashers in their top 11 cards. Holy moly. We just need to draw a card. Okay, 2 life, get that out. Say no attack. All right. I think we just won the game. We can wild ride this. Guess it doesn't really matter. We're actually gonna... And we only have to do 1 damage to each of those. They don't do death touch to us. Yeah, good game. What a crazy win that was. I suppose I could have actually attached that sooner to give a first strike, which means we could have blocked his slashers permanently just with 1. But if he removed a slasher with a spell, we would have been kind of hosed and needed another slasher anyways. So dropping the additional slasher was kind of to avoid that. Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good one, USA. I guess we'll keep it. Doesn't have our fun card, but worth a shot. Green pollinator. All right. I think I'll let this one go. We're going to do this. Because if they drop a badger mole, we can just hex it. Weaver. I think Weaver's still a target. They're going to tap it for mana here. They only paid the 1. I think we still go after the Weaver, though. I feel like a Boroid's coming here next turn. We haven't really drew anything. All land so far. There's a badger mark. He must have just picked that up. There's no reason to drop that Weaver before the badger mole. We have all the mana in the world here. We got our slasher, but we don't have our combo. They can double block that. They don't. Boroid? Boroid kills me. Behemoth kills me. That doesn't. Oh, he got Crater Hook. Okay, never mind. That kills me. GG's. Yeah, if we don't draw, we don't really have anything in our deck to beat that onslaught, unfortunately. We don't have any sweepers because we got too many small creatures. We originally had Pyroclasm in this deck before we had all the small creatures, but don't have it anymore. Yeah, I think it will be eventually. They just got to give it a little time. And I know people are like sick of it already, but you know, it just came out 2 sets ago, so they kind of want to give it a little, you know, timed for people to play it before they ban it. I think it will be banned though. I think the writing's on the wall for that one. All right, we'll keep this one. You know, the question is if they'll go after Boroid. I wonder if they're going to go after Boroid. Because if you get rid of Boroid, the Badger Mold deck gets a lot worse. So there's something to be said about them just going after that, but I don't know. I'm going to get the Dark Knight out first. We can take damage with the passage. We'll do red. Day 2 life. We'll get this down. Yeah, that's about right? With all these set releases. What is there? 7 sets getting released in 2026. Unfortunately, only 2 of them are Magic sets, too. Otherwise, it's Universe Beyond for the rest of them. What do they go after here? The entrance is a little scary. Because they don't know what that's going to target. And I can't pump this up now, unfortunately. Cast that. How about the turtle spoilers happen on pre-release weekend? Isn't that kind of crazy? All the rares got leaked basically by Wizards. I think we can just take 4 maybe. I'd love to find one of our removal. Okay, they kind of have to keep something back to block. They will go up to 7 because this has lifelink. They got a bunch of fistful of cards though. Oh, that's pretty strong. Yep, good game. Okay. Usagi. Usagi? I was wondering where the name came from. I kept calling you USA. I was thinking you were a GI or something in the military. Usagi. I'll start calling you Usagi. All right. Let's see here. We will keep this one. Yeah, I bet they do. We'll get our Dark Knight out. It can do damage to us. That's fine. We can kill theirs. No blocks. Okay, he's probably got the Abigail. Which makes me want to keep Hex open. We can always kill it next turn. If they get life gain, that's going to make it so their knight's not as strong. I'm going to do that so they don't drop below 10 next turn with an attack from the Dark Knight. Yep, they had Abby. This makes their knight a lot less strong here. Do this and flip it, but we still need the additional mana for this, unfortunately. I think we do need to get rid of the rot. Curse. Just try drawing a card too while we're at it. Wild Ride. All right, that's not too bad. Looks like I lost the audience there for a bit. Did you guys get disconnected at all? Okay, empty this. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's strong. Oh, very strong. Shouldn't trigger the evoke cost the second time, so. And we're not getting there. All right. All right. Yeah. For some reason, it was showing me that the concurrent viewers just all suddenly plummeted to 0. It's just probably a little glitch in the data. We'll do this. It ain't gonna matter. They got it. Do 10 damage to him. 9 with a block, I suppose. Actually, more than 10 damage. 11 damage, right? GG's. I'm going to look at the red cards to see if we have more Death Touch cards we can add. I don't know if we looked at Death Touch in red, did we? Death Touch Haste. But that's after max speed. That's going to be a little harder to achieve. Attack this turn, each player loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices non-life. Ooh, that might actually be something to think about. Even this isn't that bad if we want to throw in a third color. But I guess it's only tokens, it's not all creatures, never mind. Flying Death Touch. This might be an interesting one. Yeah, three drops is a hard one. We kind of got a lot with the ley line. I was hoping to find some cheaper Death Touch. I mean, I guess we can do something like a 1-drop Death Touch if we really wanted to. Like, Tiny Bones wouldn't be too bad. This would be interesting. Even giving it Death Touch might not be too bad. Be kind of interesting to try something out. I don't think we ever get up to 5. Is there any world where we play that? Hmm. I think we want to try it. I think Who Laughs at Fate is just a better card, though. Like, by a mile. This might be an interesting one. I mean, if we can... I mean, this is obviously increasing it to 5. Did we really ever have 5 to go? I mean, we're a little bit too aggro for that. I try to. Yeah, I guess you're right, right? Tiny? It has to get haste to get in the attack. Let's put coals down on the burner. I do like that 3 damage that they take if somebody attacked. Higher Claw actually kind of feels bad in this deck, which is interesting. Maybe we try that. Maybe we go with just try an artist. I just want to see how it plays out. Yeah, I think Tiny Bones kind of takes its spot with that early drop. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it at least blocks really well. I'll have to look at the Bastronaut. Yeah. I think we can try this. We don't have the ley line. I probably did slow down the deck quite a bit by doing it the way I did. I think we just do that. They're going to kill it, I think. Probably gives us more reason to actually drop this instead. We can always drop the Fate and then get it back if they can't kill the Fate. Or do I just go for Slasher? I think Slasher's just the go here. Too bad we didn't have Leyline in the opening. Alright. And that exiles it too, unfortunately.
Don't underestimate me just because I'm fuzzy. There's evidence here somewhere.
Be great if we get one of our haste spells. We just get that out. Yeah, it's about what we're dealing with, isn't it? That would have been really nice to get haste on that. Okay, got the monument down, so we're going to be in some trouble here. So you have removal. Wow.
Gotta work with what's available.
Okay, he's got the discard, so he's going to have enough mana to do removal. Create the treasure token. Deal 3 damage. Maybe draw a card. Yep, draw a card. Treasure token. Removal. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're going anywhere with this deck, unfortunately. Or with this game, I should say. Not this deck, but this game. We'll give it a turn or two more. If they have another removal spell, I think we'll just bail on it. Yeah. Yeah, we're good with this one. Let me look at the Bastronauts here. I think I hear my son streaming in the other room. Bastronauts, here we go. Yeah, actually, that's pretty strong with the Menace. Do have the start your engines on that one? Which didn't the other card have this? We could do a start your engines thing. We do something like that. And then we could even drop yeah, Raceway's not the greatest in here, is it? I like getting the haste though. That is kind of nice. What do we get rid of here? It's becoming that way, isn't it? That kind of was the way we started. Was the slasher was the main deck. Which is sad because that actually is I like the combo between those two, but it has a recursion though, which is really nice, and then it can come back with Alicia too. Maybe we just do less of them? Feels weird having this only being the only life link. Curious if there's anything else for lifelink that might be interested to do. Bats wouldn't be too bad. Lifelink Menace is pretty good. Yeah. Sometimes fun is the key here. I don't know. Maybe we'll try this. We'll get rid of maybe Wild Rides. Maybe we'll try it that way. We'll try speeding it up a touch. Let's quick look at our packs. What do we got here? Thunderflock. I only have a couple cards in this new set that I have to get, so not too eager. I got pretty much everything I need out of the set. All right, we're approaching 3 hours here. I think this might be the last game. We go first here. Let's keep this. A2 life. We're going to be able to possibly get an early flip on this if they don't remove it. We got a second one also, which is nice. Ooh, that's really good. Do we save that for a future flip? Maybe we do. We don't want to show that off too early. Do that as a surprise. See how that goes. Yeah, we didn't get the ley line in the opening hand, which is unfortunate. I think this deck can operate without it, though, pretty good. That one doesn't bother me so much. If we draw our... Yeah, if we draw our equipment right now, we'd be in really good shape. We'd be flipping the Dark Knight. I mean, we're going to flip it anyways, but... These are two dead cards in our hand, unfortunately. Doomsday. We did start our engines quite a bit late here. They'll block that, I would think. Yep. Up to 15, we can drop our Cecil. You know what? We could actually drop the Cecil because it's a different name, isn't it? Deadly cover up. That's a pretty good one. If we get our haste, I mean, we wouldn't win with that, but get rid of the Thrill Seeker. Ooh. Let's do this. We can cast the axe and then win next turn. Just gonna keep this in hand just in case they make us discard or something. As long as they don't remove this, we can have lethal on board. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole lot you could do in that situation. Oh, they made us draw. Down to one card. But we can win here if they don't have removal. But I think they do. This is where that pump spell would be really handy to make it have +3. Yep. GG's. All right. Well, I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate all you watching. Thank you for the fun deck. I might record a video with it or something. We'll see what we end up doing with it. Usagi, have a good one. We'll see you guys later. GG.